Hello again, everybody. So today we have something a little different for you all. Um, this is a video for the Cow Pokemon League, the Draft League for Berkeley students. But today, instead of a recap or anything like that, we're going to be interviewing Christian, aka WiseGuy, and hopefully this will be the first of many coach interviews, so you can all kind of get a feel of what the coaches are thinking, why they drafted the teams they did, and so on. Yeah, it should be a fun experience. And Christian said that he's ready, so I'm just going to call him up. Yo, what's up, Christian?
Yo, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, I guess I woke up pretty late today, but I got a lot of sleep.
I never sleep in, and today I slept for like 11 hours, woke up at 11:30. So
Let's go.
I feel the same, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So, I guess we can just get started with this interview. So, my first question for you is, can you tell me a little bit about your history with competitive Pokemon? So you don't have to start all the way at oh, little Timmy gave me a pack of Pokemon cards on the playground, so I love the game a lot, or something like that. But up to you, how much detail you go into.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been playing Pokemon ever since I don't know how old I was in first grade, so let's say 10 years. But I never really get into competitive until I got into middle school, high school, and I always kind of played on and off. So I remember playing Gen 6, I played a lot of OU, and then Gen 7 I kind of got bored of it, and then Gen 8 got back into it when the new games came out, but then got super bored because there's a point in time when Gen 8 OU was just so boring. But the older I get, the more I come back to competitive battling, so I'm not a constant showdown grinder, but I mean, I do consider myself a pretty decent battler, so I do, that is one of my favorite things to do in Pokemon, so I like to stay up to date with stuff that's happening, especially VGC and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got into competitive. I love this game. Sounds like you like it a lot too, so it's always nice to be able to enjoy this game.
I'm even trying to get into older, or not older, but different tiers now, because especially draft leagues, you kind of become aware of the heat of Pokemon, because in OU you only are spamming the top 20 Pokemon, but when you play PU or RU or ZU, just the text that people come up with to get stuff to work is just genius. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know, some of the things that they run in, I don't know, Gen 4 OU or Gen 4 UU or any of the 1v1 formats, it's is this even the same game anymore? It's so heat, man. It's so heat from the perspective of a standard player. Even from the perspective of a draft player,
Yeah, that's why I kind of like draft and lower tiers like that, because, I mean, playing OU top ladder, you really learn a lot about the game, but you don't really learn about the entire franchise as a whole, just spamming OU, so it's nice to have other formats where you can kind of get other Pokemon to highlight.
Yeah, for sure. I am a little bit curious. This is not part of the interview, but I am a little curious. What part of Gen 8 OU were you talking about?
That I found repetitive or boring?
Yeah, boring.
So one of my least favorite Pokemons ever since it was released was Urshifu.
Oh.
And it's pretty topical given week 4 how much it destroyed me. But least favorite Pokemon, I think it's evidence of how much of the power creep in Gen 8 is. It has crazy coverage, crazy stats, crazy ability, crazy hit or signature attack, and just like that with people spamming Clefable and stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. I'm playing the same teams over again. And especially with Dexit too, just a lot less options. That's why Gen 7 or Nat Dex has been a lot more fun recently, so I can run some of the old mons I like to run. Like I was telling you, I love running Mantine for no reason, you know, so...
Mantine.
Yeah.
Interesting guy. Yeah, oh my gosh. I remember the early days of Gen 8 OU where, like, even without Dynamax, right? The Dynamax meta was like, that was crazy. But even after they got rid of that, it was just like Corviknight, Seismitoad, Clefable on every single team.
Exactly.
It was certainly a time to be alive. Not the best time for competitive fans.
Yeah, and especially before Polt and Cinderace were banned, you know? Those were on every team as well.
Yeah? Wait, I mean, Polt is still there.
Oh, am I thinking of... Is it banned in Nat Dex?
Yeah, it's banned in Nat Dex.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, for sure. Those guys were super broken also. But yeah, I want to like know specifically more about your history with Draft League actually. So you did mention that it's Draft League is fun, right? Because you get to explore some of the different options. But like, when did you really like get into it and get interested in Draft League?
Yeah, so my first ever experience with Draft League was, I remember I was in high school and one of my best friends, and he's also my co-coach and advisor now. He helps me team build.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, his name's John. He started one in high school with like a bunch of our friends in high school who played Pokemon, but it was really hard to always keep it consistently going because we never had enough people for a league, so we'd have to get people that weren't super into Pokemon but like knew about it, and then usually those people would be the ones that made the league fall apart and people stopped battling. So ever since high school, I kind of liked the format and liked having the taste, but I took a step back from it. Pandemic hit, totally forgot about it. And then I came back to college and I was reminded by you of Draft League. And I was like, oh shoot, these are super fun. Why don't we get one at Cal and stuff? So after that, I participated in like a random league that allowed me just to get some experience in so I could have a little bit of background coming into the Cal League so I can not totally get destroyed. And I mean, I was doing pretty well until week 4, but I mean, I'm 3-1's not bad, but it was definitely kind of heartbreaking. Love to be undefeated, but life goes on. We still can make playoffs.
Yeah.
We're still in good position and stuff.
Yeah, we will talk about that game in a little bit, but
yeah.
Totally relate to what you said about the league kind of just dying because people are not doing their games. I had a draft league in high school as well, but not just that. Like any of the random leagues you join, a lot of the times it's just like, okay, we draft, everyone's super hype, then like 2 weeks in, people stop playing. I'm really glad that ours is not going like that so far.
Yeah, especially, it feels like majority of the people in the league really are excited about this, so
yeah.
I'm kind of happy that this is taken off as well as it did. You know, of course we have some of the people who aren't actively participating, but everyone's doing their battles. A lot of people are still like communicating and talking about it, and it's definitely been a fun community that to be involved in like this short 4 weeks, including draft.
Including
like 5 to 6
draft,
weeks that it's only been going on already, so looking forward to what the rest of the league and the season has in store for us.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Everyone's like super involved and stuff. I'm not too sure what to say, but it's really nice seeing the competitive channel at least not be dead for once.
Yeah, so true. I wasn't really in the Cal Pokemon Discord until I started becoming a facilitator, so like last semester.
Yeah.
And the competitive it always seemed like people were just asking about teams, or they would just post screenshots of Showdown of funny stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Which was nice, but like
Yeah, it's funny.
we're
but,
getting actual discussion now, which is like always fun.
Yeah, because the description of that thread is the competitive
Right.
think tank, and now it does feel like a think tank.
It really
you know?
does. People are coming up with like the most stupid sets to run.
Yeah, I remember a few weeks ago seeing Ray be like, "What if I wanted to have investment in every single stats and run serious
Oh
nature?"
my god.
And I remember the discussion that came from it. Everyone was just like, "You're crazy. What are you thinking?" And in my head, I was like, maybe he's onto something. Let's see how this discussion plays out. So it's definitely been fun. Just to, even if I'm not texting, type in there.
Yeah, yeah. Ray is an interesting dude. Maybe I'll get to interview him later.
Yeah, his team building it's always funny to hear what team building idea he has and he brings.
Oh no. All right. Yeah, thanks for the answer. My next question. So, I want to ask about your team, specifically your team name, actually. So, you have the Miami Walreins. Now, looking at this entire league, right? Your team name is like the only team to kind of abide by the standard, draft league naming conventions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I first of all, thanks for that. Thanks that our entire league is not like a complete shitpost. But also I'm curious, like, are you actually like a big sports guy, naming your team after the Miami, not sure, Dolphins? Yeah.
Yeah, so looking back, the memory of these names are like really funny. I love Squig's team and his banner.
Yeah.
Super funny.
He actually used that format. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was so funny. Like Blurgs, where he has the imposter Yveltal. It's actually really funny. But yeah, I like the conventional names. I just think, and Walrein's my favorite Pokemon, and like a dolphin. Walrein's the only thing that kind of similarly sounds the same. So I went with that. But sports-wise, I grew up really liking sports, especially baseball. Even now, I'm a really big baseball fan. But the older I get, the less and less I follow all sports. I remember like middle school and high school, I would always follow football, basketball, baseball.
Oh man,
It's just too much time nowadays, so...
Time away from playing Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why my skills diminished in early high school, because I took away to watch sports, but...
Oh.
I'm back. Now I'm back, but I do really like baseball. I'm a Giants fan, so I always follow them.
Awesome.
And, but yeah, so and I also always watch March Madness because it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta make up for all the time I had lost from sports to increase my Pokemon skills.
For sure. Alright, then about your team itself, right? So after the draft, I did end up ranking it first, and but now we're like halfway through the season actually, so you've had some time to test it out for yourself. So I guess in your time using it, what are some things that like you really like about your team, but also some things that maybe you don't like about your team?
Yeah, sure. One thing, I never really use this mon. I never really see other people use this mon, but Mega Aerodactyl's been so much fun to use. So much fun. It's so fast, so you force other people to have to run, certain speed or scarf investments.
Yeah, scarves.
It's incredibly powerful, tough claws that it can almost one-hit KO so many things or do huge chip.
Yeah.
It can D-dance, it can hone claw so you don't miss your moves. It has great coverage. I've loved this Pokemon almost every week I like save it for the back. I'll just throw Dragon Dance or Holy Claws on it and just be like, okay, last resort, just go with the Aerodactyl and set up and win the game, because it can do that almost every week. And then I really like drafting or using the Dragon Steel Fairy Core.
Mm-hmm.
And I really have liked using Coco Hydreigon Caesar. Hydreigon has been... I always love using Hydreigon. Definitely a very good Pokemon. Sometimes I find it a little underwhelming at times with, like, I expect it to do more, but it has really good coverage. It's really fast. You can even run its specs. It just hits really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been very useful. And then also my Slowbro and Moongus Regenerator Core has just been so much fun. Either one,
That's
I usually
nasty,
will bring
man.
either one of them.
Yeah.
It's just really good. Just pivot mons, really good utility. Some things I think it's pretty good. Sometimes I find I like Donphan a lot as a Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I wish it would be a little more special defensive, like a little bit more.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because there'll be times I'll be like, oh, I could throw an Assault Vest on this and it'd be perfectly fine. And I'm like, wow, that does a lot more than I expected it to be.
Yeah, it still does like 50.
Yeah, exactly. Caesar, I love Caesar, but it's really one-dimensional, so people can... I mean, it's really hard to do something original and fun with Caesar. Because it's like, you run U-turn, knock off, bullet punch, roost, defog. And that's like all your options, you know? So sometimes it feels kind of restricting to use Caesar, but besides that, it's very good useful. And then of course, Infernape, that thing's just crazy.
Yeah, it's a good Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just really good. But I really like my team. I really like building with my team. Some weeks, you know, it's part of draft leagues. You'll always have that one Pokemon the enemy has that just totally counters your team. You're like, well, what am I supposed to do to stop it? But overall, I've had a lot of fun with using these mons. I'm still waiting for the day I can use Furfrou, or Furfrou, however you pronounce it, because it has Fur Coat and like U-turn, and it's pretty fast, so it can speed check a lot of things.
It is pretty fast, yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is that it has horrible move pool, and it's like, even though it gets Cotton Guard Fur Coat, so you can just be like a defensive wall if you really wanted to. But at the same time, it gets horrible move pool. It's. I was gonna bring it week 3 to just like do something with like, I don't remember what moves I was gonna run, like Grass Knot Surf.
Grass Knot Surf? What even is this guy's special attack? Like 60?
It's bad, yeah. I was like, I wonder if we do max speed timid with specs. How much damage this would do. Or, you know, it's just really underwhelming, but I'm gonna bring it 1 week so I can get some action. So stay tuned for that one. Yeah. We'll
see it come out. Yeah, honestly, your team is like really great. Like you said, the Coco Hydreigon Scizor, not only the Fairy Dragon Steel core, also like a nice pivot core, you know? You get to force in a lot of Pokemon, make them take chip, and then get a favorable matchup. Yeah, really, really solid.
Yeah, there's some things there's always things I'm going in the weeks where I'm like, oh, I wonder if one of my Pokemon have this and I forgot it, and it doesn't. Like, I wish I had Wish support, or, you know, I wish I had Spikes or Toxic Spikes. But, I mean, it's not like I need those to win games, but a lot of the times it'd be fun to play around with them. So,
yeah,
not the end of the
definitely.
world, but there's the more I like look into other people's teams when I'm team building, I'm like, wow, this Pokemon's so good for draft. I didn't know it got all these different moves.
Yeah, that's just how it is sometimes. I mean, playing this game, I've learned so much stuff, just like random moves that Pokemon get, random ways that Pokemon A can beat Pokemon B when it's not supposed to, you know?
Yeah, that's another thing I love about draft, because every time I'll be team building and I'll look at the other that's how I felt about Infernape last week. Week 3, I brought in Stealth Rock Infernape, Focus Sash lead, and I was like, since when did Infernape learn Stealth Rock? I never knew that one.
He's always had it, man.
Yeah, I didn't even have it on my sheet because I keep track on. I have like a sheet for like the weeks, and at the top I have all important moves that my Pokemon have. You know, like switch out moves, hazards, other things. And I didn't have it for Stealth Rock because I didn't know until week 3. I was like, oh, I guess that'll be useful for the future.
Oh, so you have like a whole like building doc?
Yeah, I have a doc where it keeps track of like my pre-match thoughts. And I'll put my team in there and write like important calcs and what each Pokemon's supposed to do. And then I'll have my post-game thoughts with like the replay in there. So I could show it at the end of the season, but don't want to show it during the season because then people might get information by how I'm thinking and stuff.
Hey, that's super cool though. It's like very reminiscent of like the old style draft league days. I don't know if you watch like any of those guys, but like Gym Leader Geo, that guy especially, he would like write down so much stuff, and just like throughout the match too.
Yeah, I don't write down like extensive details about each match, but I like to have a game plan a lot of the times because I find when I'm just laddering or other times battling, you know, I'll just autopilot super hard, and especially in draft league where you make Pokemon to do specific things for 1 to 2 or their whole team, it's important for me to like write down, so even if I don't have it up during the match, I just know in my head, I know what each one's supposed to do, so I don't choke or something.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely very important to like keep in mind your game plan while you're playing, especially for draft league, right? Yeah, so thanks for talking about your team. My next question. So, look, I know it's like already halfway into the season, and usually this is something I'd ask at the very beginning, but I still always like to ask this question. Is there anyone that you're looking forward to playing? Either because, you know, they're an easy stomp, you know, or you think like they'll give you a good game.
I'm looking at my future schedule, trying to see. I'm always excited just to be battling. Draft League's a lot of fun for me, but I think looking at the standings, playing Blurg and Squigs at the start, you know, Blurg is just like very good at Pokemon, so that was like a really good start for me at the beginning of the season, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And then Squigs' team is really good. Playing Broken Motor last week was, he's undefeated now, so I just like, you know, every game's fun, but just playing against the people who are proving to be very successful in this is just a lot of fun for me, you know, because I don't feel like I was that involved in the competitive community at Cal, so I'm not saying like I need to make a name for myself, but it's kind of just trying to prove people, you know, what I can do. And but I think looking forward, I don't battle either of them in regular season, but I think two of the people I'm really excited to battle is Ray of Darkness, Shadow Zatus, because he's just been at the top the entire season.
Yeah, literally the whole time.
Just stomping, very good battler, so I definitely want to battle him because I think it would be a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. And then also, I don't think I battle this person in regular season, but I'm trying to see if I do or not. No, I don't. I'm really excited also to battle Namu, who's also at the top. I'm just looking. There's so many people I want to battle. Like JS King Boo, I'm super excited to battle as well. Because his team is just like so much power. It's so scary to look at times, but it's like that would be super fun. So hopefully I can make playoffs and play some people that, you know, hopefully, you know, going to playoffs, I think as much it'd be nice to play people that I already have encountered, so I kind of know how to team build against them. It'd be more fun just to play new teams, so I can just have more fun playing against different people I haven't seen. So definitely, people at the top I'm really excited to play.
For sure.
Hopefully we all make playoffs. You know, I could lose every single game from now on out and not make it, so.
Oh no, no, you're on track so far.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, for sure, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think like you versus Ray definitely going to be a interesting matchup. And yeah, about like playing new people in playoffs, I definitely agree with that. Actually, like I do not want to have rematches because then there's like a whole nother layer of mind games. Like,
yeah, it's horrible.
Last time, like I brought this set that like destroyed this guy's team, so this time he's gonna have like some countermeasures, but then like it's still a good set, or like what else should I bring instead of that set, you know?
Yeah, or like the mistakes they made of not covering certain things, or they're gonna cover it in the future.
Right,
so
right.
You can't just be like, oh, I'll bring this to help stop that. It's like, well, they know I'm gonna bring it now.
Yep. Yep.
Definitely a lot of mind games that would cause me more pain and strife to have to think through team building. So.
Yeah, on that note, is there anyone that you would rather not play or like not look forward to playing, whether it's a rematch or not?
Honestly, I've kind of learned through looking at my last week and looking at next week that they don't completely solo my teams, but Pokemon like Mamoswine and Weavile would just kind of go crazy against my team. You know, like I have Caesar to kind of stop them.
Yeah.
Infernape can, but especially week 3, like Mamoswine just totally destroyed my whole team. So, you know, Earthquake destroys Coco, destroys Hydreigon, destroys Aerodactyl. Apparently it gets knockoff, so it can. Like,
it does get knockoff.
Stop Slowbro, destroys Donphan and Amoonguss, so it'd like be up to Infernape and Caesar to take it out, you know? Which I think, so I would definitely not want to play Squigs again.
I see.
Like, I definitely don't want to play him again. Just having to worry about Mamoswine that whole game was just so stressful. So
yeah,
if
makes
I don't
sense.
see him again, I would be very happy. Very happy.
Well, yeah, I guess Simon knows who to aim for in playoffs now.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Hopefully he doesn't make any late game trades to be like, if I'm not gonna make playoffs, I'll give Mamoswine to someone else. Like, please don't do that to me.
No. Yeah, totally makes sense. Like, Mamoswine is like ice and ground is just crazy coverage.
Yeah, and it gets. I don't know why that thing gets a knockoff, because it'd be like, oh, just go slow, bro. I mean, it's going to get destroyed by an earthquake, but it can live and just scald and retaliate. But it's like, knockoff, when I was calcing it, like max defense, max HP does like 75, I think. Or
wait,
like
no
that.
way.
Hold on, let me find my calc from week 3. I can pull it up.
Let me try to pull it up. That sounds like too much damage, man.
Okay, I have it. So, 252 Choice Band Mamoswine knockoff. Oh, okay, it does 60 to 70.
Holy Jesus.
Which is still a lot, which is like, wow, you know? And
yeah.
then Skull does a lot in return, but then it dies to an EQ after that, so.
Yeah, the Mamo can just kind of like, you know, knock off the Slowbro, force it out, or switch out itself.
Yeah, it's definitely very scary, so happy to not have to deal with it again.
For sure. Alright, you say that, but someone's going to pick up the Piloswine.
I'm gonna pick up the Piloswine. Not the Piloswine, no. That's over.
The baby Mamo. Alright, yeah, I think it's about time to talk about your latest match. So, for this game, you were up against Broken Motor and his single strikers. we already kind of spoiled the result. Yeah, you did end up losing this one, but it was a close game, right?
Yeah, it was close. It was close.
So do you want to talk a little bit about like what you were thinking about during the prep phase?
Yeah, let me go through that. So definitely my main worry was Scarf or Shifu. Because Scarf, Adamant, or Shifu outspeeds 252 plus Aerodactyl.
Right.
So very scared for that, you know. And then besides that, Urshifu just totally demolishes my team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, depending on the coverage it gets, it can just hit everything so hard. And
definitely.
He ended up running Banded Adamant, so it gave me a lot more wiggle room in that match. We'll talk about it later probably, but
yeah.
So I was really scared for that. In hindsight, I was talking to my friend, like I said, who helps me team build, John. He told me at the very beginning, he said, it would be super funny if we ran defensive Coco. And I was like, dude, Coco sucks this game, you know? Urshifu gets Poison Jab, Mega Caesar destroys it, Slowking, Galar, Nidoqueen both wall it.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's for sure going to bring those 4 mons. I was like, I would be like, Tapu Koko just is so horrible, so I kind of benched it. But now I look back, the Urshifu destroyed my team, so... But, sorry, we're talking about game planning. I got too carried away. But also at the same time, Aerodactyl, just like every other game, just does so well against this team, you know?
Yep.
With a good coverage, great coverage, you know, Earthquake, Stone Edge, already does so much to this team. Dual Wing Beat can hit stuff like Urshifu, and then the Fire Fang, if I wanted to run it,
for the Scizor.
Hit the Scizor, and just like totally destroy or to get everything else. Scarf, Infernape, very good too, can hit everything really hard. It gets Earthquake, so it can hit those hard walls like Slowking, Galar, Nidoqueens, and like if I could get a prediction on like a read into those. So my goal was to kind of play with those two. In this match, I was like, okay, there's nothing I can really do about Urshifu. It's just gonna destroy my team.
I see.
The game plan was, we're just going to have a brawl, like a fist fight brawl of just he kills one.
Like a sack war. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what our match turned out to be. Like, watching that replay is like, I sack a Pokemon, I bring something in, he sacks a Pokemon, he brings something in, we have some stall until he gets his Urshifu in, I sack something, I bring in like my Aerodactyl, he has to switch something in to sack it, and then he brings something in. So, and then also, I really wanted to bring Caesar this game, but I was scared by Colossal Cinderace, and then Slowking, Nidoqueen, and Togekiss having access to like Flamethrower. And I would need Caesar to kind of stop those things, but I didn't know if he was going to run Flamethrower coverage or not, so I was really scared to bring Caesar, so I decided to bench it.
I think it makes sense to bench, yeah, like you said, everybody on his team gets fire coverage for some reason.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I really wanted to bring it, but it wasn't that good. And then, so, kind of rounding everything out, Donphan, in my head, I mean, maybe I should have planned this out better. In my head, I was like, he's going to run Scarf or Shifu. I was like, there's no way he doesn't. So I brought max defensive Donphan to kind of help stop that switch into it. Turns out he was Banded Adamant, so it got
2-hit KO'd, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I remember when I switched it in, I didn't even have to calc it. I just immediately wrote down, I was like, yeah, that is definitely Banded, because, wow, that just destroyed Donphan.
Yep.
And then the Hydreigon, this one was a little harder. I knew I wanted to for sure bring it. But, I knew I for sure wanted to bring the Hydreigon, but the only problem is that I didn't know what item to run. I didn't know what coverage to run on this thing. I knew I for sure wanted to bring Flamethrower Earth Power, because Flamethrower can get something like Caesar coming in.
Yep.
Or Earth Power can get something like the Nidoking or the Slowking Galar, even though it doesn't do that much good coverage. So I was like, well, I don't really want to run Life Orb on this thing, because I don't want to take extra chip if I'm just going to have to like sack things and then bring this in. It's like, I don't really want to bring Scarf because I want to be able to switch out things, so
yeah.
I think in hindsight, this Hydreigon could have been a better set, but I don't know. I'm just looking back. I don't think Expert Belt was the best thing, but I figured have something that can hit hard, drop Dracos if he doesn't bring Togekiss, and so that was kind of my game plan going in.
Yeah, makes sense. I think on paper Hydreigon has like a really good matchup, right? Because it's got like the coverage to hit everything, even if maybe Togekiss walls it, but then again he might not bring it.
Yeah.
But then in practice, it kind of just like gets worn down, and then in your game it didn't even like get to click an attack, did it?
It got to click Draco one time into a slow king switch, but then I just had to use it as like a pivot into Urshifu later.
Yeah.
So it didn't really prove too useful. I think in hindsight, maybe for this game, like benching the Hydreigon and bringing that defensive Koko would have done me so much better, because Hydreigon didn't really do much, but you know, you live and you learn. It was still a fun match, but
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess it makes sense for the team building. Like I just see like your paste over here you sent me, especially defensive Slowbro. I'm assuming this was for the Nidoqueen.
Yeah, because this thing doesn't take like Wicked Blows well at all. So
yeah, exactly.
If I run this thing bold max defense, it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna do well against Urshifu.
Yeah.
So I was like, even if he runs Thunderbolts or something on his Slowking and his Nidoqueen, this was kind of my answer to that to switch into. Even against Caesar, you know, like I could get knocked off and like U-turned on, but I think having this answer for Nidoqueen and Slowking Galar was going to be really useful, so I did max special defense.
Yeah, totally makes sense. I think yeah, I would have run the same thing. And yeah, I guess like the rest of your team, you kind of did talk about like just the Aerodactyl to basically come in and claim a kill every time, and then try to win the sack war, I guess.
Yeah, because you know Urshifu was really good into me this week. The only thing that could stop it was maybe that Koko, but even then it would probably get worn down really quickly. So.
Yeah, makes sense. About the game itself then, were there any turns that like kind of stood out to you, or like you thought for a long time about?
Oh, I thought through so many. This game took like 20 to 30 minutes, and it was I think like 25 turns long.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to go through the late game, especially. It was like I was thinking in my head how long things took out, but
oh shoot!
Specifically,
as the volume on.
Yeah,
as the volume on.
Yeah, the volume came on. I think. I'm trying to see. When it became like a predicting war, it became a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Specifically, like turn 15, when I sack my Corsola, he brings in Nidoqueen. When after I bring in Urshifu,
yeah.
And like in my head, I'm like, there's no way he doesn't go Slowking Galar and Nidoqueen here, right? Like that's obviously the play. So for sure.
Oh my god. Yeah, I remember this turn. I was like, dude, you are crazy for that one.
Yeah, in my head. And also too, I didn't even think about like, yeah, I don't even, if he stays in, not only does he like not die to Earthquake, Infernape dies, and he doesn't take Future Sight damage because he's a Dark type.
Right.
So, getting that read, getting the Earthquake and the Future Sight onto the Nidoqueen, I was super happy about.
Oh,
really
dude.
Good.
Oh, whoops, the recording cut out. So, as I was saying, right, yeah, this turn, I thought CC would be coming out into the Urshifu.
What turn were you on?
We're on turn 15.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought CC would be coming out. So I guess, yeah, so it makes sense that he would not really like want to go Rotom there, as that would take the CC and the Future Sight. So Earthquake calling the switch out into one of Slowking or Nidoqueen, that definitely really worked out for you.
Yeah, it was definitely very clutch. Or if it didn't work out, then it's back to the races. Rotom Wash comes in, that's for sure. Scarfed, I'm Scarfed, so I have to switch out into like Donphan, but if he clicks Hydro Pump, then Donphan just dies.
Yeah.
Or you go into Slowbro to tank a Volt Switch, At that point I have to read, is he going to try and go for the kill, and I go Slowbro, or is he going to try and Volt Switch and go Donphan? So, fortunately, the Earthquake plus Future Sight combo was enough, barely.
Yeah, and there was always the possibility that he just stayed in with Urshifu, though given how he's been playing, I don't think that's very likely at all.
Yeah, especially with especially like this game, since I didn't bring that Coco like I was talking about earlier.
Right.
Urshifu really is his win con this game, just like to beat me down, because that's what it does. So,
yeah, pretty much.
In that moment, I was like, "There's no way he's gonna sacrifice it this early."
Yeah.
And
yeah, that
also,
was a good call.
Yeah, and watching a lot of like other people's matches. Some people definitely like to stay in a lot, and definitely watching like Motor's other battles. He's definitely not someone who would just stay in and recklessly sack him on like that. So I counted on him switching out there just because it's the right play.
Yeah, this dude makes so many switches. like
yeah,
whenever I play against him, he's like doubles on doubles on doubles.
Yeah, and that's something I kind of learned too. That's something I kind of learned because it's kind of hard. It was kind of hard to like watch his other matches because 2 of his matches were against like some of the lower teams. So it's just him just like spamming and destroying stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to get a sense of like how someone plays by matches like that. But this one, but like the stuff I've seen, I know he definitely liked to switch. So, and good thing it didn't come back to bite me like in my week 3 match, clicking Grass Knot, predicting the switch into Mamoswine, and my Coco died because it like Primarina lived on 1.
Oh yeah, that was so funny.
yeah, that was a funny moment. So good thing that didn't happen with this, but yeah. So I'm just watching this. Yeah, this game's pretty standard. I click Scald on the Urshifu, have to sack something. Donphan was useless. It didn't do anything. It just took 2 wicked blows and died. Poor Donphan.
No.
Didn't even get the rapid spin off.
Didn't even have Helmet.
Yeah, only I had. Dude, I was thinking of Helmet, and like this Donphan was gonna be like my thing to kind of stop a Mega Caesar. Like be really defensive, can take a hit.
Did I have Fire Fang?
I don't know.
I had a counter.
No. Yeah, I had counter.
Oh my.
So I put leftovers on it. I was like, if this thing's gonna be like in against the Caesar, I'm gonna want that like residual HP back.
Yeah.
Looking back, I think Rocky Helmet would have been better because 2 wicked blows to Donphan, the Urshifu dies.
Yeah.
It doesn't live to get a sucker punch off and crit me at the end. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
So yeah. But so yeah, and then playing against Slowking, I was like, well, I don't know if he's gonna go Rotom. I don't want to have to like make that read if he's gonna go to the Rotom and not click Earthquake, because maybe he's like, well, I sacked my Nidoqueen, now I'm gonna go into Rotom, predicting the Earthquake. Maybe he's gonna click like Close Combat or something, because like that's the play it should be. So I was like, okay, U-turn's conservative, good momentum.
Yeah, it's a safe play there.
And then instead I can go into my Mega Aerodactyl, which can claim a kill on anything if it gets the read right. And Stone Edge is just the right play here, 100%. So, worked out, hit the Stone Edge, that's always a fear. And then this turn 20, the fact that he brought in Rotom, I knew for certainly that he was going to, I knew for certain he was going to be Scarf.
Scarf,
right?
Why
would you bring Rotom here? because it dies to a Stone Edge, I'm pretty sure, at this range, unless it's like max defense, max HP, but looking at the damage calcs, I don't think it is.
Right.
If I remember, so at this point, I'm like, just have to go to Slowbro. He's gonna get a Volt Switch off because my ground resist is dead. And then out comes Urshifu again. Man, this mod was such a, this thing was so annoying, this match, man. Oh my gosh, looking back at it, but... And then, at this point, I was like, okay, what's more useful, like, late game? My Hydreigon's done nothing.
Right.
And, you know, Cinderace is faster, it's really low HP. The Rotom Scarf, Urshifu outspeeds it. Or no, Urshifu doesn't outspeed it, but, like, I can't really... I won't get a good opportunity to, like, click a Draco or something on this to kill it.
Yeah.
And then, like, Caesar or BP just kills it, so I was like, alright, you've done a good job, Hydreigon, clicking Draco Meteor one time to kill you off. So, let that die. Arrow comes in, and yeah, this is the moment I was like, click Stone Edge, and I don't think the crit mattered on Cinderace, I think that always just died.
Yeah, it definitely did not matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And then, back again, same thing like this whole game's been, just like, I sack something to kill something of him, he sacks something to kill something of mine.
Yep.
So, have to bring in the Slowbro, he gets a free Volt Switch off because Donphan's dead. In hindsight, I should not have let Donphan die as easily.
Yeah, maybe not. You could have sacked Hydreigon a turn earlier.
Yeah, just so, like, I have to make him think about clicking Volt Switch.
Yeah.
You know? Because, like, even if he does click a Hydro Pump off, then the Rotom's stuck in there, you know? And he has to switch in something else.
True, then you can, like, get off a Scald or a Teleport with Slowbro.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point, I guess he did not have any Scald resists either.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and Urshifu dies to a Scald. Caesar takes a bunch from Scald. I've learned that from like crazy previous week's matches. You know, always the risk of a burn.
Yep.
So I guess in hindsight, looking back, watching this replay now, definitely should have kept Donphan alive. That Volt Switch Scarf is just so good on my team.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
It's gonna let Urshifu die, or let my Slowbro die. It's okay. And then here comes Aerodactyl, and then this play was fun. This one took a long time to think about.
Yeah.
So running the calcs in my head, this game's like pretty much lost because, you know, I outspeed here, so he has to switch out his Urshifu. I can get a kill onto like Rotom. Caesar comes in, bullet punches. He can sack Caesar. You know, I don't know how it'd play out. I don't know like how much Caesar would do to Infernape, and if like Urshifu could kill with Sucker Punch after BP plus Sucker Punch, I think would be enough to kill. So in my head, I'm like, okay, we just have to go for a play here because it's not really that favorable for me at this point. And I'm thinking he wants to keep his Urshifu alive, so he's for sure gonna switch out.
Yep.
No way he stays in because he's locked into Wicked Blow. That's what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
That's in my head. I'm like, he wants to switch out the Urshifu. So I'm like, he's either gonna go to Rotom or Caesar. In my head, his Rotom is Scarf, so he wants to keep that alive for this Aerodactyl. So in my head, it was just super clear. He's going Caesar, so I'm clicking Fire Fang. But doing the calcs, Fire Fang's a roll onto Urshifu, and it does no damage to Rotom. So if he doesn't go Caesar here, I just lose the game pretty much. You know? And so like if I click Fire Fang and he stays in, I die, and then Infernape just doesn't win the game because it takes too much from. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to win. I don't know. It would be really close. So I click Fire Fang here like a madman, and it works out. I don't know why he went Caesar. I don't know what. I have no idea why, but it works out for me. And at that point, I was like, oh my gosh, I just won the game. And I was like, wow, that was great. And so I was just like, okay, Infernape can win this game. Just gotta sack Aerodactyl. And yeah. So then, this is where it also gets kind of messy afterwards. There's a lot of different things that could have happened. I slightly misplay, but so I decide, you know, Rotom's really weak. Don't need to really worry about it anymore. Urshifu's really weak. Banded Adamant's Sucker Punch does a lot because I know it's Bandit and Adam by like the counts that I ran earlier.
Yeah.
Thanks to Don Fan for being that test dummy. I found that out, so I figured, I don't need this Aerodactyl anymore. Sack it to the Rotom. And this is where it gets kind of interesting. So I definitely misplayed this end of the game very hard,
Yeah.
I should not have clicked close combat because it lowered my defenses and puts me in range of losing the game to a Sucker Punch. I think it would have been a roll. And
he
really
crits you.
Yeah, so I don't know why I clicked close combat. I could have clicked U-turn. I could even click U-turn and won the game.
Oh,
Or
true,
Fire
yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know why I clicked close combat. I think I got really excited in the moment. I was like,
Makes sense, yeah.
We got the prediction on the Caesar. We won the game. And then I clicked close combat. I was like, wait, he's Bandit and has Sucker Punch. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh no, the Urshifu comes in.
No.
Do I live this? Do I live this? And then he crits me. Oh my gosh. But the thing about that crit too was I was calcing it. If I didn't click close combat, I think it would have been like, it was a roll. It wasn't guaranteed to always kill me.
Right.
And also in team building, I made a mistake. I forgot to speed creep my Infernape, so it didn't have more HP. But pretty much,
yeah, you should have speed crept. Then the roll might have been in your favor. Like I see in the game chat, right? Sid posted 58 to 69 is the roll. You're at 64, so would have been about 50-50.
Yeah, it would have been so close, like with that crit. So the whole time afterwards, I was like, I wasn't mad because I lost. I was just like, I didn't give myself the most optimal chance to win that game because, like, even if the odds weren't in my favor, it's Pokemon. He got a 4% chance to crit. I could have just put that attack and won the game. So the game was definitely a lot of fun, but we both had chokes at the end. Like, he shouldn't have went Caesar there for sure. No way. I should have clicked close combat. So, kind of unfortunate end to that battle, but, this is for fun. We're playing Pokemon. It's a game for fun with friends, so I'm not gonna be super upset about it. Just gotta get a win next week and get over it, so.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
Hoping to,
game, I really liked maybe my team building wasn't the best, but this game was a lot of fun because I had a lot of good predictions to make this a close game.
Yeah, no, you got like every play with Aerodactyl correct. That was like crazy.
Yeah, it felt really good. I got the Earthquake right on Nidoqueen with the Future Sight.
Yep.
I had the right play with like Earthquake, and yeah, everything was the right play until the very end where I lost myself a chance to possibly live and win the game. So, but it's okay.
Yeah, you live and you learn, I guess.
That's Mons.
It is Mons.
Yeah, you could play perfectly and still lose. I didn't play perfectly, but you could play perfectly and still lose. That is just Mons. So.
I love that quote. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you do next week. Hopefully you get to bounce back.
Yeah, next week I'm playing Cairo with the Volcaronas, and I mean, she has a really good team. If she gets a win this week, she hasn't played her week 4 game match, I don't think.
No, she hasn't.
She has a really tough opponent in Squigs, but they're both kind of in the same place on the leaderboard right now, so
yeah.
I don't know who's going to win that game, but if she can win that game and then win my match, she'll be, in playoff contention, so I'm, of course, hoping to stop that so I can increase my chance to make playoffs, but her team is very good. Definitely going to have to think through team building because, Rillaboom just clicks Glassy Grind on, like, anything. It does a lot of damage. Weavile is Weavile. Volcarona, you click, like, a Quiver Dancer too, and it's like, okay, GG, I guess. So.
Oh yeah, you did say you do not like playing the Weavile.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the Weavile. If only I could use Psychic Terrain, but
No.
my Pokemon that don't like Ice or Ice Shard are both Levitate
They're
mons
flying.
or flying. Yeah, so can't use Psychic Terrain. But it should be a fun one. I'm excited for it.
For sure. And yeah, I don't have any more questions left for you. Do you have anything else to say?
Do I have anything left to say? Miami Walreins are winning the championship.
Let's go.
Losing to Broken Motor is only a small setback in my story to the top. Be warned, every team in the CPL Cal Pokemon League. I am a force to be reckoned with, and I will make a run for it. That's all I have left to say.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure having you here with us today. And yeah, I guess with that, I'll end it off.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun, and I will see you in future weeks as we move forward.
Yes, sir. I'll see you next time.
Alright, thank you. See you later.